And I do believe that we are live. All right, so welcome to Techtopia TV, A Week in Technology. This is a technology show where, for the ones that don't know, where we talk about basically all the technology news that has happened in the last week or so. I'm not really going to touch too much, if at all, on the Apple news that happened today. I'm pretty sure everybody's gotten their fill of that. So if you're really big on Apple products and you want to know more about that, there's plenty of places to see that. So we're going to make this show probably a short one this week, maybe 30, 45 minutes, something like that. It's not going to be anything crazy. Just going to run through some articles that I pulled up that I thought were good to talk about. And then we will call it done with that. So, all right, let's get into the first one, shall we? All right, so the first one is the LG Nexus 5 2015 naming and price details. So I added this one, I guess it was actually technically at the end of last week for this show. So since last Tuesday, or last Wednesday till now, this is the news that I picked out that I thought was worth mentioning and talking about. Of course, there was tons of other things and a lot of much larger news that most likely happened. But, I can't cover everything. It's impossible. So, I guess it's going to be the Nexus 5X is what everybody is kind of calling it. I don't really know 100% sure. We won't know until, I'm guessing, September 29th is when they mentioned would be the date that they would possibly drop it in San Francisco. It will be initially released in 3 colors, white, blue, and black. This article here says that the 16 gigabyte model will be $399 and the 64 gig will be $449. But the next article that I have, which is more up to date, has more images and more details, and that one says that it's going to only be a 16 and a 32 gig. So they're about a week apart, so more information was definitely found and has been, I guess, updated. So I'll go ahead on over and to the next one since it has more info. So here's the next one. This is the white panda, as they're calling it, because it's white backed. Here you can see the sides, so it's white backed, black sides, and a black front. So they're calling it the panda, I guess. This has a little bit more information about it. It will have USB Type-C. It's going to have a laser autofocus, dual LED flash with a 12.7 megapixel camera, Snapdragon 808. 3 gigabytes of RAM, 1080p screen, and 2700 milliamp hour battery, which the battery seems a bit small. I think it's the same size as the Nexus 5, which I had before, the Nexus 5 from 2013. I can't believe it was 2013 that phone came out. That's crazy. But anyway, the Nexus 5 2013, I believe, had a 2700 milliamp hour battery, I think. I had it. The battery life wasn't too bad. It was doable. It would last, for the most part, it would last a full day of work. And then it got to the end where, before I dropped it and broke it and got my Note 5, it was getting to the point where I would have to, for me, because I used it so heavily, that I would have to plug it in and charge it at work on my desk, like probably around 2-3 o'clock or whatever. It would have like maybe 35-40% battery, and just to make sure that I could make it home and or do any shopping or anything I needed to do after work, I wanted to make sure I had plenty of battery. So I'd always charge it back up and it'd be good to go until I went to bed. So this article here says it's going to be available in 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte at the beginning. With maybe they're talking about possibly releasing one that's got a larger later. I don't know. Here, let me post these. Let me post these in the chat for anybody that wants to look at them. They're available down in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, they will be in there. I know the last few I haven't put them in there. I always do the bit.ly URL shortening and all that other kind of stuff. I always do it, but then by the time that this gets uploaded from Twitch to YouTube, I always forget to go back in and do the table of contents where I break it down by timestamp and put the the article name and the link next to it. So I always forget to go back and do it, and I apologize. I will start doing it again with this exact video. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, the links are down below in the description if you want to take a look at them for yourself. And you can read it and you can interpret it the way that you want to, not just by what I'm telling you. So on to the next one. This thing is crazy. I don't know if this is the most up-to-date article. This is the one that I first saw, but I have seen several other people talk about it in various tech shows that I've watched, podcasts that I've listened to, and it's pretty crazy, though, I have to admit. Basically what it is it's a water block, or not a water block, but a water cooler, closed loop cooler that stays on your desk for your laptop, for this gaming laptop. So the only part that worries me, though, is after reading more about it and hearing more about it over the past week, after I put this down, was that it's got a separate water cooled base that you leave on your desk. I'm trying to read my notes, that way I can make sure I cover everything. That you can leave on your desk, so that way when you're gaming at home, or you're doing some rendering, or doing maybe if you do CAD work or 3D modeling or whatever, and you need that extra horsepower from the GPU or the CPU or whatever, you can pop it on your desk, plug it into this little water-cooled docking station, and it will allow it to, obviously water cool your CPU and GPU, and you can get more performance out of it. You can overclock it. It actually does have an unlocked Core i7 6820HK. K meaning that it's unlocked and ready for overclocking. It has 64 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know what type of RAM. I don't think it's said. I would imagine it would be DDR4. But yeah, it would have to be, because I'm guessing the 6820K would be... I would think the 6820K would be Skylake. So that would be DDR4, most likely. But I mean, this thing is a pretty wild piece. What else does it say? The CPU is running at 2.7 gigahertz base clock and a turbo of 3.6. The GPU is particularly interesting. It's an as yet unreleased model from NVIDIA. Currently, the top-end GTX 980M packs 1,536 GPU cores, or 160 gigabytes a second of memory bandwidth, 96 TMUs, 64 ROPS, and a base clock of 1308 megahertz. The GX700, in contrast, reports 2,048 cores, so it has more cores, a higher or a clock speed of 1,190 megahertz, so a little bit lower clock speed. 128 TMUs versus the 96, 64 ROPS, the same, 160 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. So it's got more cores, but a lower clock and more TMUs. So I don't really know what that means. Is it like a new, as they said, is it the laptop variant of the Titan? So who knows? I honestly have no idea. Just like the Titan and the 9080 Ti, they're the same exact thing minus some VRAM. So is that what this is going to be? Is it going to be a slightly beefier 980 or GTX 980M? So it's going to be like the GTX Titan M? I don't know. We'll see. So nobody really knows. Now this is the part, like I was starting at the very beginning. This is the part that kind of has me a little bit worried, is because it says ASUS claims a performance increase of 80% when the laptop is on the cooler. So if it gets an 80% boost, like this one guy, the guy that actually wrote the article, says that when I reviewed the VisionTech Cryovenom R9290, I saw that card outperform the air-cooled R9290 by up to 20%. 20%. However, this is a far cry from the 80%, and it implies that when you disconnect the water cooler, the GPU throttles down so hard to keep its own power consumption in check. And it says, then again, the GTX 980M has proven to be a remarkably good mobile GPU, offering excellent performance with less throttling than we've seen in previous mobile hardware. So it will give you 80% performance increase when on the cooler. That, to me, and to these guys, from what I'm reading anyway, seems to me that it's not going to be a very I mean, it'll be a decent laptop, of course, but it's not going to be super crazy powerful unless it's plugged into that dock. So take that for what you want. I mean, it just seems kind of interesting to me. I mean, it seems like if you're going to be using this to do anything, you're going to be keeping it plugged in at your desk all the time. So it's not really that mobile. And of course, there's no word on the price yet. So, yeah. Awesome. On to the next thing. Now, this thing wowed me whenever I saw it at the Google I/O. It's called the Odyssey by the GoPro guys. So here is what it looks like. This thing is absolutely bananas. So it's called the Odyssey. It costs 15 grand and is only available to professional content creators and producers after submitting an application. So you have to apply for this, prove that you are a professional content creator and a producer before you can even buy it. It comes with 16 Hero 4 Black Editions, a microphone, the rigging, all necessary wiring, a Pelican case to carry it all in, and a warranty and support for 15 grand. Absolutely crazy. I mean, it looks insane. Now, for those that don't know, this is basically the first camera rig that has come about to work specifically for Google's Jump program, which is a full 360-degree virtual ecosystem hosted on YouTube. So if anybody watched the Google I/O that they gave, not long ago, a few months ago, basically what this is like, they had demonstrations where they took a pod similar to this. It didn't look exactly this, but they took a pod similar to this with a bunch of cameras. They take it out, they set it down, like say like on the beach, and then they just start filming. So they can film in a 360-degree panorama. So, think of the, what do they call those things? Photosphere. Think of the photosphere that Google did with Google Photos and the Google camera, the Android camera, right? So you could stand still, take a picture, 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 and you spin all the way around. Takes forever. You look like a moron. But then you have a photosphere. So you can send it to somebody else with an Android phone that has that ability or capability, and then they can sit there and hold the camera and their phone and look around, and it makes them feel like they're there, like they can see it. Well, that's exactly what this is, except for it's videotaping it all at the same time. It's not a still image. So you can essentially go onto YouTube where these pictures are where this camera was set up, and when they host it or they upload it to YouTube, you can go on to YouTube. I think it might be YouTube 360. I don't remember. But you can go on to YouTube and watch this video and literally just with your, well, if you're using a touchscreen device, you can just swipe it with your finger, or you can use your mouse and you can click and drag it and look 360 degrees or whatever while it's moving, like people are walking by and dogs and waves and whatever. If you have it at the beach, or if you put it and watch like a sunset or something like that over top of the Grand Canyon or whatever, it's pretty cool. I mean, I watched several videos of it and it was actually pretty amazing for what they had. So Google has already released the plans for building this type of rig, as well as the software to many developers or whatever, and GoPro just happened to be the first to do it. So they're not going to be the only ones to do it, but they were the first because they got their hands on it first and went bananas with it. So they went balls to the wall and made sure that they knocked it out sooner. So feel free to click the link and go and check it out, because it really is a pretty cool piece of technology. And yeah, like here they have it on top of a car driving through New York, it looks like. Yeah, New York. So VR shot on the Odyssey on top of a car in New York. So essentially you can put on your Oculus, or you can put on your Google Cardboard or whatever, watch this video, and you can sit there and look around, and it looks like you're sticking your head out of the sunroof of the car. And you can look all around New York City while he's driving down the road. I mean, I don't think it's going to be live, not yet anyway, because that's a lot of data to send through a live feed. But yeah, pretty crazy. All right, so the next one, we always got to talk about Chromecast or Comcast. So Comcast experiments with cell phone-like data charges for home internet users. I saw this, and it really shouldn't surprise me, but it did. Because Comcast is really notorious for pulling some crazy shenanigans and being on the shit list of a lot of people and a lot of consumers. I'm really, honestly, other than the people that have no other option, I'm really surprised that these people are still in business with the kind of crap that they pull. But anyway, so now Comcast, they're sending out they sent out bad news on last Thursday, telling consumers who exceed 300 gigabytes a month that they're going to charge them $10 for every 50 gigabytes they go over to pay for the overages. Then of course they say that they give you an option to pay an extra $30 a month on your bill to remove this cap. What kind of crap is that, man? I mean, that just doesn't seem like very good business to me. But I mean, obviously it seems like good business to them because it's making them money, right? Who doesn't want to make money? They say most users won't even go over this cap based on past usage numbers and all that, but that might not stay that way with more 4K streaming, a lot more people dropping cable and going to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and Sling TV and Roku's and all that other kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot more people using data. And I honestly, I even added it in my notes here, that I honestly can't help but think that this is just a way to get back at the cord cutters. So it's like, okay, you want to cut the cord and you don't want to pay us money for our cable service, but you want to keep us for our internet? All right, well, when you go over this certain usage amount or whatever, we're going to start charging you more to get their money back that they're losing from you not paying outrageous monthly, prices or whatever to have channels that you will never have the desire to watch. That's the problem I'm having with right now, is that I wanna drop cable so bad, but football season starts this Sunday. My Packers play on Sunday. I want to be able to watch the games. I thought about like Walking Dead and all that stuff, but I have other ways of watching those, so that's not a big deal. But football, you really got to watch football live, or any sports live. It's kind of crappy to try to watch just highlights after the thing's over and be like, oh wow, cool, I missed all of that. So I mean, I don't know. I haven't quite made the decision yet, but I am really getting seriously frustrated, especially after I watched. I don't know if you guys know Oh, who was it that I was watching that was talking about it? Um, oh, it was Logan. Logan from Tech Syndicate. And Wendell, I think is his name. They were talking about uh, cable companies and how much money they make off of just renting their cable boxes to you or to us. Mine's not as expensive as theirs was. I think I pay like $6 or $8 a month. $6 for one and $8 for the DVR. I think it is a month, which is ridiculous in itself because if I've had it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever, I have paid that piece of equipment off probably 7 times. So it's crappy in itself right there because I should just be able to pay a one-time fee to buy the thing. If that's the case, I'll just pay $50 or $60 for the box and be done with it. And then don't charge me extra a month for it because I'm paid for that thing so many times over already. It's ridiculous. But they were saying something like $15 or $18 a month some people are paying to rent a DVR box. I'm like, holy crap. That's twice of what I pay. So yeah, I mean, it's like I think they said it was like a $16.8 billion a year industry just renting cable boxes. Almost $17 billion a year they're making, cable companies are making, just by telling you that you're going to pay to keep their cable box sitting on your shelf. I mean, are you kidding me? So, yeah, I don't know. That right there really kind of pushed me to the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't even fucking care about football at this point. They're just making money hand over fist. I mean, I know that they'll still be making money off of me for cable or for internet because I gotta have internet. I live off the internet. I mean, I make my videos, and I do the live stream. I mean, I have to have internet. I can't. I mean, I could function without internet. Obviously, everybody could because we did it before it existed. But the stuff that I do, how I get my news, how I get information, how I talk to people, how I communicate with other people across the country to some family that I don't get to see all the time. It's all over the internet. I mean, you almost have to have it now. It's a necessity. So I definitely won't be dropping that, obviously, but I really, really have been thinking about dropping the internet or cable because pay a lot of extra money for just random crap. And what I've noticed the most, I mean, I don't know about any of you all, but what I've noticed the most is that what I end up doing is I'll end up coming home from a long day at work. I just kind of want to veg out, just to kind of take a load off like anyone else, and I'll sit down and start watching some TV. And a lot of the TV is dumb. I'm not gonna deny that. But certain channels, certain shows or whatever, I just kind of watch just to watch. I mean, I don't watch like a whole lot of sitcoms anymore. I don't really follow any of those. I followed The Big Bang Theory for a while, but a weekly show like that, I just whatever. If it's on, it's on. I'll watch it or whatever. But most of the stuff that I use for my TV is like background noise. Like if I'm building a computer, or just have it on so my son can watch cartoons or whatever. Or most of the time he's on Netflix anyway, watching his kids shows on Netflix, and I have the parent thing on, so don't worry about that. But like, I mean, I know for a fact that if I cut the cable and I was just focusing on the internet, I would put a lot more time into being constructive, obviously, and making more videos for YouTube for you guys to watch, have better content. My house would probably be a little bit more in order. I mean, just a lot of things. Like I almost feel like it's like a tractor beam, it like grabs people, and I feel like I'm finally realizing that, and so I'm trying to, I'm kind of going tinfoil hat here, but it like feels like it's like kind of like pulling you in, and turning everybody into zombies, because they sit there and watch it and they believe all this crap that they see, and it's just dumbing down America. Well, dumbing down citizens. I'll just say citizens because I know it's not just America that watches TV, but that's almost how I feel like it's getting now, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I kind of feel myself going, oh, hey, I want to watch. No, no, why am I doing this? I could be making note or writing notes for the show. I could be writing up a script for my next video. Just anything else. It doesn't really matter what it is. So I do think that it probably won't be long. I might watch a couple football games or whatever, and maybe I'll notice that I'm not really that into it anymore. Like maybe I'll watch it and be like, why am I watching this right now? I could be doing that, or I could be doing that. I could be building that. I could be doing something else, and maybe I'll end up doing something else, and then I'll just be like, okay, well I don't really need football anymore right now, so bye. I don't know. It all depends. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I really do want to cut the cord because I'm tired of all of what these companies are doing. They're just screwing people over so bad and making so much money off of doing nothing. It's really pathetic. But anyway, let's go on to the next article. This is the last article I have. Like I said, it was going to be a short one. The show didn't go on last night. Because my son is sick. He's got, he had a really high fever the night before last, and he still wasn't feeling too great last night. And I'm starting to maybe catch it. I don't know yet. My throat's kind of tingly, and I feel a little like a cough every now and then. And that's kind of what he's got going on: a sore throat and a cough and a fever. So. And of course, when you're the parent, you're always around them and you're always taking care of them and making sure they have everything that they want and everything's okay. And you usually end up catching it, right? My parents, all the parents watching will know that, or know how that feels anyway. So anyway, AMD looks towards the future by restructuring its graphics division. Now, as an NVIDIA person, I have EVGA poster on my wall. I have NVIDIA. I mean, I've never even owned anything AMD. Actually, I have one thing that is AMD in my house, and it's an old AMD processor that was in an old computer that I got from a buddy of mine. That's the only reason why I have it. I've always been Intel and NVIDIA. I've never had a reason or an excuse or anything grabbed my attention enough from AMD to make me go that way. And they've been hurting pretty bad lately. So with their rebranded 300 series, 200 series to make the 300 series, it was kind of a big letdown for a lot of people. I know that. But now they are creating the new Radeon Technologies Group. So the group is reconstituting the ATI branding that was retired back in 2006 when they bought ATI out. Okay, so AMD fanboys rejoice, seriously. So the ATI branding is coming back. I mean, if that's not enough as somebody that loves AMD and loved ATI, yeah, power to the people. So ATI branding is coming back. The once AMD CPU GPU under one roof is now being separated into two distinct teams. So the GPU team is going to focus solely on GPU stuff. The CPU team is going to focus solely on CPU stuff. Because right now AMD is down to only 18% market share in the GPU arena. 18%. That means Nvidia has, like, I think they said Nvidia was at where was it? 81.9% is what Nvidia has in market share. So AMD is at 18%, and it's down from 37.9% that it was last year at the same time. So they've gone down a half of what they were doing at the same time last year. That's crazy. They're hurting pretty bad, and they really need to pull themselves out of the slump, because if they don't, and they don't wow people and get the market share going back up in their name, it's not looking good for the consumers. Me, you, your neighbor, whoever, is not going to benefit from AMD going under at all. It's all going to be bad. Bad, 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 bad. Because Nvidia can do whatever the hell they want at that point because they have no competition. And no competition is always bad. So hopefully the separate GPU team will now be able to focus and make a comeback because they really, really do need to make a comeback. But I guess the CPU development team is really pinning its hopes on next year's Zen architecture. So I guess that's like the big thing that the CPU side of AMD is really counting on. So let's just hope that the Zen architecture is everything that they said it would be. So, okay, I said I wouldn't really touch on it, but, you know, it's only been 30 minutes, so I kind of want to go a little bit longer, not really long. I just kind of want to give a dump of the stuff that I've seen. Now, I'll go ahead and type this in, because I'm probably going to get some hate from this, but the iPad Pro, okay, I know that they had talked about it. This thing just cracks me the hell up, really. Oh, that's a Surface Pro. My bad. I can't really tell the difference because they look exactly the same now. Doesn't look like they have any pictures of it. Let me see. Let's go to The Verge. Come on. They're not going to show me what it looks like, are they? They have it on their website? Available in November. Alright. I don't need all this crap. Just show me what it looks like. Anyway, so basically what they did is it's 12.9. I think it's 12.9 inch display. So basically what it is yeah, 12.9 Retina display. Nearly double the CPU performance of an iPad Air 2 and refined multi-touch technology. iPad Pro adds another dimension to that experience. It's not just larger, it's an iPad that lets you be more creative and more productive at a whole new scale. So what they did was they made it bigger. I mean, it does look good. I'm not going to lie. It looks good. You know, everybody knows that Apple does a pretty good job on their hardware. I mean, it always looks just bang on. It always looks good. Now, the thing that irritates me is this. Now, I know for a fact, I remember whenever the Surface Pro 3 came out. I know that a lot of Apple fanboys, because I know a couple. I don't want to say fanboys because I don't want to start a huge, you know, war here. I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm not trying to get anybody angry. Let's say Apple enthusiasts at my work or on the internet ragged and jumped all over about Microsoft and the Surface Pro 3 because the keyboard was separate, number one, and it was $130 by itself. The keyboard for the iPad Pro is separate, and it's $170. They also ragged on the Surface Pro 3. It comes with its own pen. It comes with the stylus, whereas I don't think the iPad Pro comes with it. I think the pencil is separate. So the Apple Pencil, as they're calling it, is $99 by itself. And here's the iPad Pencil. So what I think it does is it has the male end on the back side. So let me see if I can get back up to it really fast. On the back side here, I think you pop this off, or maybe it pops out the back here. It's a male end of, I believe it's, what is it, Thunderbolt? Is that what Apple's using now, Thunderbolt? So it's the back side of the Thunderbolt, but it's male. So it plugs into the charging port of the iPad Pro. So now you have this tablet that's 13 inches or so on the screen with this pencil sticking out the side. I just see tons of people snapping these things off, but that's just me. So anyway, So yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on this because it does kind of crack me up. Like I didn't watch the keynotes. I kind of wanted to, but I was at work and I wasn't going to go out of my way to make sure that I could see it. Now, I wasn't going to risk getting myself in trouble or watching it on my own tablet or whatever, or eating up my data, you know, on my from T-Mobile or whatever to watch it. So I wasn't that worried about it because I'm not going to buy it. So I didn't really care what it was going to be, but I was following my Twitter feed, and you know, Wired.com, Engadget, The Verge, what is his name, Marcus Brownlee or whatever his name is, MKBHD. He was tweeting all over the place. You know, there was like pretty much like a live feed of everything that was being said. It was ridiculous. My Twitter feed was like just like a constant stream of Apple stuff, and I don't know. It was really starting to crack me up, like some of the stuff that I saw them talking about and saw them saying and everything else. But I know I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to compete, obviously, against the Surface Pro 3, and they even had Microsoft come out, which I thought was really weird. But Microsoft came out and talked about their like Office applications working on this and running on this. So it's like, didn't you guys just get with Dell? Like, didn't I just read about this? That Dell is now selling Surface Pro 3s on their website to try to get more Surface Pro 3s into the enterprise? But now you're going to help Apple get more into the enterprise? What the hell's going on? So I thought that was pretty interesting that Microsoft was pushing with Dell to try to get more Surface Pro 3s into the enterprise world and corporations and stuff like that, but then they turn around and talk about how this would be a good addition to your corporation and your workplace. So yeah, I don't know. It should be pretty interesting. I just know that I mean, I don't really have a huge problem with Apple devices. I understand why people like them. They do feel good. They do have a real nice premium feel, and it's nice and smooth, and it works. But I still hate the fact that it doesn't have an app drawer, and that you have to have icons all over the damn place. It looks so shitty. Don't tell me about folders. I don't care about folders. That doesn't help me. I want clean home screens that I can put widgets on and all that kind of stuff. That's the way I am. I enjoy being able to just open it up, see a clean home screen with a clock on it in the weather maybe, and then being able to swipe one way, see some information, swipe the other way, see some information, go into the app drawer if I want to go into more apps than that, and be done. It just looks like a cluttered mess to me with icons everywhere. Number one. Number two, I've never been a real big fan of the fact that they're so closed, you know, to keep people out. Like, I think they announced new watch faces or whatever for the Apple Watch, but you still can't really fully customize your own and do like your own custom watch face like you can with, you know, Watcher and all these other ones for all the Android Wear watches. They're very closed off, and it kind of ruins it in a way, you know. As a big computer guy, I enjoy being able to just run anything I want to run, and that's the way it should be. But many people like it, and that's the way that they want to go. But anyway, that's really all I got to say for this week. Like I said, I figured it was going to be a short one. Some things had dropped, some pretty crazy things came out, tons and tons of other stuff. But since the show didn't happen last night, I definitely wanted to come and do something. I didn't want to just like leave another week open with no tech talk, no news or articles or anything like that. I didn't want to just like leave it hanging again. I know that these aren't my most watched videos that I have on my YouTube channel, but I do know that some people do actually watch them, whether when they're eating lunch or having breakfast in the morning. I personally know people who do watch them and enjoy watching them, so that's the only reason why I continue to do it. So let me switch back on over to my main screen. Here we go. So it's Techtopia TV, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and YouTube. All of them are Techtopia TV. Feel free to go on Facebook and like and follow. Twitter, follow on Twitter. Add me to your circles or whatever on Google Plus. Follow the page. And of course YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, like and subscribe below, and so you can see more of my content. And definitely check out my Note 5. What is it? Spigen Note 5 Neo Hybrid Carbon Case video. I had a lot of fun making that video. My Nexus 5 was already broken with a cracked screen, so I figured I would have a little bit of fun with it and reenact not exactly what happened, but what could happen to somebody's phone, and I had a blast doing it. So definitely take a look at that. I'm going to be doing a review shortly, maybe this weekend, on the what is it? The Pixel 7. I think it's a Pixel 7 tablet by Alcatel. It's a little generic Android tablet running on, I believe it's Lollipop. Yeah, it's running on Lollipop, and it's free. It's free through T-Mobile. I don't know if, I think it may have ended now. I don't know, but it was free through T-Mobile. With the, if you did the T-Mobile Jump on Demand, which is what we did to get the Note 5s, we were already on the Jump program, so this was just a better program for us to go to, because now I can jump to another phone 3 times a year. So when the Nexus 5 comes out, peace out, I'm getting the Nexus 5. Whenever the next phone that I want, that I think is good, you know, nice or whatever, that I really want to try and play around with or do a review on it, boom, jump over, hop on that one. So it worked out pretty well in the long run. But anyway, it came free with that. It was a $10 a month for 5 gigs of data, and we gave it to my son. So he uses it to read on. We hooked it up to, we created a, what is it? A Kindle account for him, as well as a Google Bookstore, Playbooks or whatever it's called. So we hooked him up with those, and he's been reading books for school, and as well as, you know, he takes it with him to school, and then he can play some games on it or read his books or whatever while he's at after his Taekwondo class before I pick him up. So anyway, it's a simple tablet. It's nothing crazy. I think it only has like maybe it has only like 5 or 6, 7 gigabytes of space on it, maybe. So it doesn't hold a whole lot. It's, you know, not super duper fast. It's nothing crazy. It's not an iPad or a Galaxy Tab or anything like that, or a Nexus. But it's pretty cool. And he might be in the video with me. We're trying to wait until he gets over his sickness, because right now he's still coughing like every 5 seconds, and it's kind of annoying. But if everything goes well, then we'll be doing a video on that, so stay tuned for that, and it should be pretty cool to have him in the video with us, or with me. And I also have a Maxnomic Dominator Black seat from Need for Seat coming in. It shipped today. It should be here. If it doesn't come Saturday, which I doubt it will, it'll be here Monday. So I'm going to do an unboxing / build video of that, and then I'll probably let it go for a few weeks and then come back and do another video on my final thoughts of the chair after using it for a while, to see if it's comfortable. I mean, the seat I have now, I mean, it's just a standard seat. I mean, it's I think it's the Torrent or whatever from Office Depot. It was like $160, but we paid only $100. It was on sale for $100 or something like that. So I grabbed it, $99, I think it was. So I grabbed it, and of course the Maxnomic is like, I think it was like $383 after shipping. So, but I hear good things. I personally know a guy at work I actually ran into today that actually owns one, and he's had one for about 6 or 7 months now, and he loves it. He still says still to this day it's more comfortable than the chair that he has at work. And I know that the chair that we have at work, the standard chair that we have at work, hey, what's going on, man? Um, but yeah, I mean, I know that my the chair at work or whatever is like an $1,100 chair or some crap like that. I think it's a Herman Miller. I can't remember the actual name of it, but yeah, it's it's an expensive chair and it's comfortable. And he said that he likes his Maxnomic chair better than that chair. So, and he's about my build, maybe a little bit heavier. I'm like 6'1", like 165 ish. The last time I weighed myself. So I think he might be 6'2", but like maybe 180. So he's a little bit bigger than I am, not much. So anyway, I expect a unboxing / build video of the chair once I get it. Other than that, that's really about it. You know, I don't know how long you've been in here, Golden Scorpion, but the show's coming to an end now. I've been on for about 45 minutes now. I just wanted to kind of get in here, like I said, and just do some articles and not leave another week open. I'm really tired of leaving weeks open. And things kind of get in the way or something doesn't go right. I know my one co-host or whatever was moving the one week, so we didn't do it. And then another week he was doing something else or whatever, so we ended up kind of postponing it. And I just don't want to do that anymore. And unless I'm dying or somebody in my family is dying, there's going to be a show every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock now. From now on, I'm trying to get really heavy on this with the scheduling and making sure that I stick with it. I really do want to try to push this and make it go further. Like the YouTube channel, trying to take it more serious. I mean, obviously I've already been taking it kind of serious, but it's not really. I mean, obviously you don't. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of viewers and a lot of time to start making any kind of money on it. I've noticed that. So yeah, that's really all I had to say. Golden Scorpion or whatever. Thanks for coming in and checking me out. Like I said, I don't know how long you've been here, but if you want to see this whole live stream archived from the get-go, you can either watch it on here after it's done, or I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and it'll probably be up there probably late, well, actually probably early tomorrow morning, maybe late tonight. It'll be up on YouTube and ready to go. So check me out. Again, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, all Techtopia TV. And for the viewers that did pop in, Golden Scorpion, thank you for coming out. Please follow the Twitch so you can come check us out next week. So again, thanks for watching. This has been Josh with Techtopia TV for another week in technology. Good night.